the brainchild, the brainchild behind Red Boxing and GBO. We've got the Honorable Ray Rodiz. What's going on, my man?
I'm good. Or just have more projects to
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. I mean, let's just kind of get into it. I mean, we're kind of gearing in for many things, but obviously, June 15th, we've got two fights right here in the Los Angeles area at the Pico Rivera Sports Arena, and the first heavyweight title fight in the Philippines since Ali Foreman?
No, Ali and Joe Frazier, 44 years ago.
44 years ago.
So we are trying to bring back the jest and the fans from the Philippines to see, to open the floodgates here in the United States.
That's awesome. Dondo.
I'm blown away. I mean, at the level of promotion that you have going, because I know it's not just boxing. I know you got other things going that we'll touch on. But coming up June 15th, here at Pico Rivera, there's going to be two big fights that you're putting on. So tell me about that. Tell me about the boxers.
Well, in Pico Rivera, we will have Angel Rodriguez, who is a very phenomenal fighter. So it's going to be a title fight. He's going to fight for the California State title. He's going to be the main event. Then we will have Adelaida Ruiz, who's going to be fighting, who's 7-0, fighting an undefeated opponent from Mexico.
Wow.
Micaela Aguayo. So both contenders are fighting the Continental Belt GBO.
Wow.
And Adan Temo Ochoa, this is his second defense for the World Youth title.
Is that the red belt for the Intercontinental? What color is that?
For the Intercontinental, it's red, and it's white for the Continental.
I remember.
Yeah, for the Continental belt, it's white, and the youth belt, it's a crocodile strap.
Very cool. Very nice. So, with this upcoming event, I believe that we need to get it out there to people in LA. Can we promote this in some way? Can people find it online? Is there a website of some sort?
Yeah, we do have a website, redboxinginternational.com, and you can buy the ticket on Ticket On, and I mean, it's an exciting fight. We have local fighters. Like, this is an all-star fighters here in Los Angeles. We have the best of the best. Like, Angel Flores will be there. We have Angel Rodriguez, who is the star of Pico Rivera, who brings a lot of people. And we have Temo, who has defended his title already. And La Cobra, who is going to be the future of female boxing.
La Cobra.
Yeah, you know her,
Very
right?
cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm going to have you introduce me.
Absolutely. I'm actually headed this Saturday to film something with her, so that'd be great. Going down to, I believe it's Whittier? No, it's somewhere here in the SoCal area.
Yeah, it's in Linwood.
Linwood,
The media
absolutely.
workout is in Linwood, and that's open for the public. It's in NGBA boxing gym.
Okay.
So we tend to move every boxing gym every time we do this, and every promotions we do, to give opportunities for everyone.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how did you get involved with boxing? Obviously, there are. It's a historical sport in terms of context, but you have a personal family lineage to boxing. Can you speak on that?
Well, boxing for me, my grandfather started boxing in 1960s.
Wow.
Dr. Antonio Almerante. He made a couple of world champions like Little Baguio, Rene Barrientos, who happens to be my uncle, and the first WBC bantamweight champion, because WBC was built in 1964. So it was very young at that time. So my uncle became the first WBC Filipino world champion at that time.
That's great lineage, and especially coming from the guy that's the first ever Filipino promoter and Filipino owner of the boxing promotion in this country.
No,
tell me again.
So, like you said, I'm the first licensed boxing boxing promoter here in the United States.
It's a big deal,
Filipino,
man.
And I'm the first Filipino who ever owns its own belt, which is the GBO, the Global Boxing Organization.
There it is.
Yeah, man.
GBO coming at you.
So we're trying to we're trying to build a new breed, of boxing belt. So we only have 5 different title: the state title, the youth world title, the continental title, the intercontinental title, and the world title. Unlike other title belts, they have diamond, they have super. It's just too much.
Sure.
It just becomes more money making. We
Yeah.
want to belt the real warriors. We want to give it to the real champions of these sports.
That's a great thought.
And with that said, we have 3 different designs. So when people sees our belt, they will know it's a state champion.
Right away.
When they see the strap of the belt, they know it's an intercontinental champion, it's a continental champion, and a world champion. So we made it different from the rest of the belts out there.
Very cool. I've seen the design, so I'm blown away.
Absolutely.
Eventually, I'll get a souvenir, and I'm going to wear it everywhere in town with nothing else but that belt on.
And you get 1 million views on YouTube.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Hey,
I'm shooting for that 1 million views. You read my mind.
There you go. Exactly. No, but it's kind of cool, especially the fact that, I mean, you're going to hold 2 events same day in conjunction with each other. I mean, literally from opposite ends of the world. What strategic kind of snafus or what have you kind of go into that? Like the mind of a promoter. What does a promoter have to go through? Because everybody just thinks that you're kind of Scrooge McDuckin and counting money in the vault. But what are some of the most interesting challenges by promoting such a momentous card on 2 different continents?
Well, we're doing a big card in the Philippines, and we're also doing a card here in the United States. We did it in the same date for a reason that we can promote it in the same date and people won't be confused. Because the main goal for Red Boxing is we want to have a promotion every month. We already have dates between now till December. And next year, we want to start going out of state, like New York and Cleveland. And we want to do globally, like Puerto Rico and Mexico. In fact, the plan was to do Mexico next year, but we already locked it up for July 27th of this year. So
That's
Back to
big.
back.
That's big.
then after June 15th, in the Philippines, we're doing it in two other cities in the Philippines, which is Bacoor, Cavite, and Mandaluyong in Manila,
Wow.
In the big city.
in the big cities. See, going back to your question, that promoters feels like they're Scrooge McDuck, that's counting money. Well, Red Boxing is not about that. We are here to go give opportunity to kids. It doesn't have to be Filipino kids.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be Mexican kids. It has to be a kids who wants and dreams to become a world champion. We want to be the platform for that. If you're Mexican, we'll help you. If you're Filipino, we'll help you. In fact, we have Indonesian on the card
Wow.
on June 15th. So we already gave them a promise that if they win,
Yeah.
they will have we will help them with their visa to come here to the United States.
Wow.
So we are fighting here in the United States, but we're forgetting that there are warriors on the other side of the world.
Sure.
That's why we put in a continental belt and an intercontinental belt. Continental because there's only 7 continents in the whole global society. You
Right,
know?
right.
Then once from the continent of Asia will come to the continent of here, then we link it as an intercontinental belt. It will make sense.
That's
Right,
handy, man.
absolutely.
You know, and the reason for the state belt, because there are a lot of states in the United States,
That's a
and
fact.
it will give young fighters an opportunity to become a champion
Yeah.
as young as that, because our state belt is only 4 rounds.
Okay. So we talk about a lot of things going on within this country, but your plan is also to bring kids from around the world.
Yes,
Hungry kids.
we are gonna bring kids, because the whole goal is to bring back the real fight,
Yeah.
the real boxing. Remember when Sugar Ray Robinson, my idol, who has 200 fights, 19 losses, fought 4 times in 1 month.
Yeah,
In-
absolutely. 100%.
in order to get that and in fact he even stopped for a couple of years to dance and act, and
Yeah,
he still
absolutely.
achieved 200 fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like what's going on right now, it has becoming more of a business.
Sure.
You know, promotion is a business, boxing is a business. We want to build him up. How far can you build a fighter up?
Sure.
You spend thousands and hundreds of thousands of this fighter only to get knocked out by Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
You know,
God bless
who
you,
was
Andy Ruiz.
being underestimated.
awesome.
Yeah,
Right?
yes, sir. So who has been underestimated since day one, laughed about,
Right.
memes everywhere.
And people around the world know his name now. He
He-
became a household name overnight.
Overnight, and I have so much respect for that
Right.
kind of guy.
I'm glad you brought it up. I wanted to bring it up. This is a boxing context, so Andy Ruiz, big fight this weekend, knockout punch. But these aren't the fighters that you see, running laps and in shape. These are big boys, and I know there's some work that has to be done. But man, there's some girth there, some size, and that just proves to people that don't sit on the couch, get up and start swinging your fists, fight it, right?
Yeah, but the difference is there's a difference between boxing conditioning and a bodybuilder.
Sure.
AJ just looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And
That's true. That was the difference between the two. Now I see what you're getting
Right.
at. Yeah.
At the second round, he was gassed out.
Sure.
And he was laughing because he wants to stand up. When he on his first knockdown on his knees, he showed it in his face. He was embarrassed. That's why he gave that little grin.
Sure. He knew it was the end coming.
Yeah, he knew it was the
You
end.
can't hold your hands up, you're in trouble. That's a fact. That's good, man. I like that. You brought up earlier, pre-show, that you have a big event coming up at the Fucklock place. It's LA, right?
It's in
the
LA.
first Filipino-owned venue in LA, is what you told me.
Yes, it's historically that is the first Filipino-owned. It was built by farmers. So I want to bring history back to the people.
Huge, man.
I want the Filipino people to be proud of their race. I want them to feel that we're not just nurses.
There's a lot
not
of
ju-
them, though.
Yeah, we're not just, we can do other things as well.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We
There's
wanna-
nothing wrong with nurses.
No, there's
I
nothing
need
wrong.
a nurse
Yeah.
every time I train.
But we have to touch people's heart
Yes,
and let them do what they want to do.
sure.
So Red Boxing, our calendar is already full. Like we have two of June 15, we have July 20th back in Pico Rivera. We have Guadalajara, Mexico
Yeah.
on the 27th of July.
International.
Then back on Pico Rivera because that's our home
Yeah.
in August 17th.
Cool, man.
Then probably September 7th, we are working a venue in New York City. So this plan is for next year, but we're doing it now.
Unbelievable.
It's just because it's how people react on what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
We want to do this quick to give more opportunity to kids.
Bomb.
So on September then, and on October 19th of this year, there's going to be a first, Red Boxing is doing a charity event. So it's gonna be called Almirante's Cup. Almirante's Cup because that's my grandfather's
Grandfather, okay.
last name. I'm Rodis, but that's from my father's side.
Okay.
Almirante is my mom's side. So I want to honor my grandfather's legacy. So whatever we raise money there, we're going to donate to gyms.
Wow.
The money, the equipments, whatever. So what's happening on October 19th is we will invite world champions, NABF regional champions all over the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be WBA champion, WBC champion, NABF, GBO, GBU, WBF, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a belt, you are welcome to participate in this event. So now, to add sizzle to this event, I'm also a filmmaker, so I'm bringing probably 40 celebrities in Hollywood to play with them. So it's going to be a poker event. Just imagine, I'm a regular person and I have a world champion on my side and a celebrity on my side while I'm playing poker.
Wow.
It's giving them an opportunity to experience that, to have pictures with celebrities, to have pictures with the world champion, and that very night we wanna award the world champions, regional champions, a cup of champions. They have belts already. We want to give them a cup of champions.
Wow.
Each and every world champion, regional champion that's going to commit to be there. So there's going to be a buy-in, but the champions will be free on the first $100 chip, which is $100 buy in, but the chip is $1,000 chip.
Wow, that's killer.
But that's only then they can buy in later on.
Of course.
The first round, the celebrity and the boxer has a free play.
That's right. That's the way they're invited.
Because that's my thank you to them.
That's a great thank you.
So if you don't want to play, like if you're a regular person and you don't want to you don't want to pay, but you want to see the event, you can come and just pay $25.
Wow.
People will do that.
Game
Paparazzi's
changer.
all over it.
Absolutely. That's
And
TMZ worthy.
This is gonna happen in the Filipino community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't get any more Filipino than that.
Thank you.
I love it. No, you definitely brought it. I mean, I feel underdressed. He's the man.
That's
Ray
true.
Rodas is the man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what has been the most compelling story that you've seen as a promoter, whether it be a fighter or somebody there? Like, we see it like across social media all the time where there's a kid. We just actually heard about it. Our friend Blake Troop posted about it in terms of there's a kid in Brazil selling candy on the street so he can compete in a jiu-jitsu competition, right? So there's like rags to riches stories. Have you seen any of those that inspire you? That I know times as a promoter gets tough, as a business owner gets tough, but things that you see that you're just like, man, it's all worth it because this.
Yes, there's a lot of cases right there. For example, La Cobra, she's very unique. She wakes up in the morning, she runs, and she works. Then she's a mother of 3.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a wonderful story to tell. So red boxing is not only, people have to understand, we don't want to be just in a fight business.
Sure.
You see us going out there, boxing, promoting here, promoting there. We want to be in the business of entertainment and helping people. So on top of that, red boxing is doing the Banquet of Champions. That's one.
It's a big one.
And the second one is we are helping the fighters to be known out there. How do we get them known out there? We bring out the best of their story. So red boxing right now is filming a docu-series which gonna have like 10 episodes. So the first episode will be a journeyman who goes out there just with few days notice, and a kid that's been developed to become a world champion.
Wow.
Then the second episode is a female boxer, which is La Cobra, and a kid amateur who has won six amateur champions already.
Wow.
You will know her. Then the third episode would be the people behind it. It's the media, the people who builds this fighter, the doctors, the people who trains this fighter, the conditioning coach, the coaches. What do they have to say? You know, what is their contribution to the sport? We want to tell the story of each people involved in boxing. We just don't want to show fights.
Yeah, you build that fighter up so much, and their confidence, and their history, and their family, right? It's everything.
Yeah, we want to reach out to the people so we can bring the old class of boxing.
Very cool.
You know, we're not just, see, the problem with boxing right now is once I get television, I get ESPN, for example, or I get whatever TV, Fox, you know, they don't care to sell tickets, they don't care to fill the stadium up because they know they're getting paid.
Right, exactly.
It's a gimme.
You know, let's bring people to the stadium because it's still better to look at fights in the stadium in your own eyes than watching it on TV.
Yeah, fight in your hometown and from your
You know, the
neighbors
support,
and
the
friends.
love of the people will
Right.
be there.
Yeah, that's right. That is something that's missing. That's something I love to see.
We have to bring that out. That's why red boxing is, we have a project right now. I'm gonna work with some great people. It's still on the works. We would like to host the first Latino reality boxing show.
Wow.
So that's going to be maybe 8 fighters who's gonna fight each other. It's going to be the Contender, but it's a Latino version.
Wow.
And red boxing will be the promoter, and they're gonna win a belt through GBO.
That's great. I can't wait to see that.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, in terms of that format, you could point to the UFC, right? The UFC was a fledgling promotion, and I mean, literally, the chips were down, and the Fertitta brothers were about to fold, and then they got on Spike with the Ultimate Fighter, and it revolutionized the way that people viewed the sport. There was Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner do this.
McGregor.
I mean, right, absolutely, and it just revolutionized the way that the mainstream media had seen the sport that was normally kind of too brutal for TV, right?
I haven't stopped watching. I love the show.
The thing about that is, like in Hollywood, it's not that we run out of script.
Right.
We just want to recycle something that already works.
Sure.
If you spend millions of dollars to make a movie, and there's a new concept out there that it hasn't been tried, people don't want to bank on it.
Yeah.
Because it might fail and lose money. They would rather bank a recycled story that's already sure that they're gonna make money.
Right, absolutely.
And you can see that on The Lion King and Aladdin.
Yeah.
You know, they just changed it a little. You know the storyline.
I still want to see it.
Yeah, you still
I'm a
want to
sucker.
see it.
Right.
I'll watch
You
Rocky
know?
19. I don't care.
There we go.
Right?
So where can people find out more about GBO and Red Boxing and everything that you're doing?
GBO we have a website. It's a globalboxingorganization.com or .org. Then we have a website on Red Boxing as well. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, because Facebook is still, we have to accept, Facebook is still the biggest social network out there to reach out to the whole world.
I better get a Facebook then.
Yes, sir. You know, if you want to reach out to the world.
All right. That's very good. Check
Yeah,
out
absolutely.
my man. Andy, you take it from here.
Oh man! First off, I mean it's an esteemed honor because again, total self-admission here. I pretty much because of the promotion of how boxing was, I'd kind of fallen out of love of the sport, and to come to your press conference at the center in downtown LA. You saw the love that you had for your fighters. You saw the amount of importance that you had in them, and they, in turn, almost. I mean, you saw it in their eyes. Especially the champions there. And I mean, you broke the news that La Cobra was fighting for the title at the Pico Rivera. I mean, her like tears. Her eyes were welling up. This is a strong woman. You said a mother of three that has seen it and done it all. I mean, literal tears are rolling. And it was almost like a justification and a manifestation of all the hard work that she put into it. But that was, kind of, permeating across the whole days, So what you're doing for the sport of boxing, it's kind of a parable of life, right? Be the change you want to see. And you're a fan, you love the sport of boxing, but there are things that could be changed, and that's exactly what you're doing. So that's amazing.
A lot of heart.
The thing is, other promoters wants to make money first. I don't want to do that. I want to help people first. I want to give my service first.
Wow.
I don't want to sign them. I just want to show it to them what we can do.
It's nice.
Then let them decide if they want to sign in. Some other promoters, you sign in because you need to sign in if I invest on you.
Yeah.
We just want to give them an opportunity to think if they're doing the right thing or not.
That's great.
We just want to give you whatever we could. Then you decide if you want to come to us or not. Because there is still more in the closet that we're not showing.
Woo!
There we go.
He's playing poker with us right now.
Red Boxing has not been 1 year in the United States. We started in July 20 last year. So we're going to be 1 year on July 20 of next month.
Great. Fights are right after that.
We
That's
already
awesome.
have 5 fights,
Yep.
3 in the Philippines, and we're doing international shows already.
Yep.
Most promoters are scared to go to other countries like Asia because they don't know if they'll make money or not. See, the unique part of me is I'm from Asia, and I know the business and I know how to make money of that.
Got it.
That's awesome. And again, where can people find you on social media?
Instagram, Ray Rodis on social media. On Instagram.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then
Ray
Red
Roses.
Boxing.
Red Boxing too on social media, Global Boxing Organization on social media.
Woo!
So everything is there.
Excellent. Well, I couldn't have edited.
You know, at this point, we're going to end it here, but we are going to bring back Ray because he's got a ton of stuff happening. It was a pleasure to meet him, a pleasure to bring him to you, but we're not done because there's musicians, there's actors, there's the directing, there's the boxing. There is so much in this man that we really want to bring him back and talk about it. So at this point, we get you plenty for those next couple fights, and then we're going to bring you back again in a month or so when you're ready to come see us.
I would love to be here. I mean,
Cool.
as long as we take care of each other,
That's right.
then we will give these kids an opportunity to live their dreams.
That's what it's about, man. I like that.
Remember, in boxing, there's only 10 counts. In that 10 counts, it's where dreams are made or dreams are lost.
Absolutely.
It's really heavy, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Man,
much.
prophetic words from Ray Rodis.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you. man.
absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us. This is the Gym Crashers Part 1. And
If you hold tight, I think we're just going to switch
over
Blake
with
Troop.
a gentleman that you guys might know. I mean, the pins befit it. One bulletproof troop, Blake
That's
Troop,
right.
is going to be joining us in a few short seconds.
We'll bring him on. Let's bring him on.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's throwing hand grenades
Thank you.
and elbows. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you so
Such a pleasure, buddy. Have a seat.
there you go.
Look at
There you
this guy
go.
coming
Pleasure to
in.
meet you, brother. If you're gonna be here, I'd love to chat with you when you're done, man. I really like all the stuff you're talking about. You have an awesome vision.
Right?
Thank
and
you.
that jacket. I got to borrow that jacket. There he is. No introduction needed. Blake, Bulletproof Troop, coming at you live. My man.
What's going on, everybody? So, I know a lot of you were waiting for me to fight this Friday at LFA 69. It was the co-main event. I was supposed to fight Brandon Halsey, the former Bellator world champion. And motherfuckers be ducking me again. It's
What
duck
happened,
hunting.
Troop?
Duck hunting season, baby. So, as you know, we were supposed to fight. And so I got a call about 2 weeks ago. And I was told that the fight was off and he had hurt his knee. So first thing I did is I went to his social media page. And not one post about me and him supposed to fight. Not a single one. In 10 weeks, you are the co-main event on national TV, and you have zero interest in telling anybody that you're fighting?
Unreal.
You know, and in the LFA, we don't have a huge paycheck. He's not getting a big Bellator check, you know, so we depend a lot on ticket sales.
Right?
So, he wasn't planning on selling any tickets, I guess, or
Didn't want
maybe
to
he
fight.
wasn't planning on showing up.
Yeah.
That's what it looks a little bit more like to me, you know.
The world will make.
So
may never
allegedly
know.
he had an arthroscopic knee cleanup 2 weeks before the fight. Why he would schedule that 2 weeks before we were supposed to fight, I don't really know. It seems like more a beginning of a training camp type surgery to me, if it even happened, you know, which I've just had so many people duck me before in the past, and I've had to put them on blast on social media that I'd be more surprised if there was actually a surgery. I feel like he ducked me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling everybody, so quit being a little pussy, Brandon Halsey.
To get into like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, shots fired.
So obviously,
Somebody tag him.
I mean, you went through a tremendous, training camp. You shot one hell of a promo. I mean, with the Game of Thrones promo that you can find at Bulletproof Troop on Instagram. But how disappointing is this? That was a big step. A former world champion of a major promotion.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, former Bellator world champion. So it was by far the biggest fight of my career. And I really felt like it was the right fight for both of us. It was definitely a pivotal moment in both of our careers where you got a guy who's been at the pinnacle of the sport, had some losses, he got stripped of the Bellator belt for not making weight. But he was definitely coming down, and I'm on a 4-fight win streak where I'm definitely on a very upward trajectory, where I felt like we were meeting at the right time in both of our careers. So I was really excited for this fight because I really feel like I'm right there on the brink of the breakthrough on the big level in all of combat sports entertainment, but particularly my foundation of fighting. And so I was really bummed this fight fell off. I had a few replacement fighters that were offered to me. One person got mouthy on social media, Jonathan Wilson. But man, 185er on a 3-fight losing streak, it doesn't excite me. What's the upside to taking a fight like that?
Yeah. You got to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't think that there was, of the names that I was told, of all the people that even hit up, only 2 people I ended up hearing anything potentially even back on some legitimacy with it. And I didn't think that they were on the level of worth me coming and taking this fight for, you know. As a lot of you may or may not know, Adam and I got in a really bad car accident in December. Yeah. And so we're both still in treatment for that car accident. I've gotten cortisone shots in my neck. I'm supposed to get more in my back, you know, but I was going to rush back and take this fight before my treatment had completed. So I would have been bypassing getting shots in my back as well as months more treatment, you know. So
that's putting your life on the line.
Right, which
it could be a game changer.
Which 100% I agree, but I was 100% willing to do for the magnitude of the opportunity that beating Brandon Halsey, what that would have done for my career. I was willing to do that.
I love that. That's what I was getting at.
But a guy on a 3-fight losing streak, like,
yeah.
No offense. Actually, fuck that guy. I don't really care if he's offended. So I get something on your face.
Yeah, I think so. I need to pay for that. That's all right.
They've been in a car wreck together.
His mouth wasn't open.
But you know, so
yeah, exactly.
I'm just taking it as a blessing in disguise that I'm able to fully recover from my car crash. You know, like I said, I got cortisone shots in my neck a couple weeks back, and man, it's done wonders for my neck. So I'm really excited to get my low back, and you know, and I'll see what the next things that present themselves. LFA is back in town in August in Riverside, which is even closer to home, so that's a potential
cute,
thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm big into professional wrestling. You know, I'm still cutting my kick-ass promos and putting out a bunch of content. Speaking of which, I got something else. It's a little low-key ninja project I've been working on. Not too many people know about. But your boy Bulletproof Troop got in the studio and laced a verse. I got a music video coming soon.
What the?
Baby, I'm blazing. I'm playing Bulletproof Troop flags all over the entertainment industry until those motherfuckers are everywhere. I am taking over. It is about to be the Bulletproof Troop era of combat sports entertainment. I got my boys rocking these brand new Bulletproof Troop pins. Bro, got the Kings jersey. Fresh to death, baby. We're making shit happen. Brandon, man.
Jersey.
You know, I'm blazing a new path out there, and I'm hoping to be encouraging other people that are right there kind of trying to commit to a career to just to fucking do it, man. Just do it.
Just do it.
And, you know, and not to hold back. You know, I have people like, oh, you rap? Like, nah, I don't rap. But I got in the studio because people are going to be listening. I'm trying to bring as many eyes onto my product as I can from as many different fields of the entertainment industry, whether it's music, man, my Game of Thrones promo. Who doesn't like Game of Thrones, you know? So if I could pull some fresh Game of Thrones fans just by cutting a promo, why not? And not only that, but man, I'm having fun doing it.
Damn.
You know, and that's what it all comes down to. And I think that it shows how much fun I have, because I think it's a lot more enjoyable and genuine for people that watch it to see, you know? Yeah, I'm just making shit happen, baby. Making it happen Monday.
There it is.
I guess it's Tuesday today.
That's
Pay your dues day Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, damn, right on the fly. Now, obviously
he doesn't rap.
Yeah, I know.
Bam.
I know. That was more bars than I ever spit in my entire life. But anywho, so we had a couple of, you know, Saturday to Monday, big fight related stuff happen. Obviously, MVPs, that's a big thing. So, as a fighter, let's get your take on that.
You know, a big thing that I tell people is there's a difference between an athlete coming to compete in a sport and a fighter coming to fight you. Anthony Joshua, I really think is an incredible athlete and a very talented guy. But dude, Ruiz came to fight, and he fucking put it on him. Ruiz got dropped early, didn't slow his train down, you know, started putting it on him. And right before he ended up really dropping AJ, they exchanged hooks, and they both landed. And you could see AJ kind of hesitated. And dude, Ruiz like, ding, wow, 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 and put it on. And you see this huge shift in what went from almost a, okay, who's going to step up right where there's two hooks at the same time, where you really see the fighter come out of Andrew Ruiz and put the athlete away. I was really stoked to see it, you know. But I think that's a big, and I always talk about that, where I'm coming to fight a motherfucker. I'm not some athlete coming to compete. AJ's an athlete, man. He's an impressive athlete. But Ruiz came to fight him. And when you see a spot where both guys get hurt, what do? You know, and AJ hesitated a little bit, and Ruiz just, pow, wow, wow, kept throwing, started landing and put him down, you know, and it was the beginning of the end. And I think that's the fighter coming out and being successful in a fight. Because there were times where that was a fist fight, where they were... Yeah. There's some boxing going on, but when it really got down to it, it was a fist fight. And you see the fighter prevail in those really pivotal moments, these pivotal exchanges, exactly, you know? So I was happy to see it, you know? I thought it was a big win for him. I think it kind of hurts the AJ, Deontay Wilder pay-per-view in the future, but I mean...
But now you interjected some fresh blood into the heavyweight scene, because it was only like a 3-man dance, right? You know, and now there's a fourth with 2 titles, with the distinction of being obviously the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion of all time, winning 2 belts in the process. So the historical ramifications of this are wide-ranging than just these fights.
I think it absolutely does mix things up a little more, because had AJ just destroyed him, what's really left? Not there's nobody, but it's much deeper. Just adding one more variable to it. Now it starts being like, well, how's AJ going to do against so-and-so? Like, you should start bringing in more fresh new people that may have a similar style or attributes that Ruiz has. Where it definitely does open up the division a lot more. And then also, one thing that I think's nice about it is I want to see Wilder versus Fury too. So this kind of is like, that's kind of got to be one of the next things that happens, which I thought that was an incredible fight too. When it hit the scoreboards, I mean, like, you want to talk about who came closer to finishing the fight? I thought Wilder did. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have him winning that on the scorecards personally. So I'm excited to see that rematch, more than I would have wanted to see Deontay Wilder versus AJ, and especially now that I've seen AJ get knocked out. So something interesting also about AJ is I heard he got knocked out in preparation for this fight. Same thing with Mike Tyson leading up to Buster Douglas. Yeah. So an interesting thing about how hard guys are going before training camps and in fighting. I think you should do some hard sparring, but man, the guys that are doing hard sparring, especially multiple times a week, right? I think it can be detrimental, and like, not that this information came out to make excuses, but I absolutely think it's a vital piece of information that you have to consider when you see a guy get knocked out who isn't, it's not something he's known for. I mean, I would have said AJ's got a pretty decent chin, big, strong dude, strong neck. Like, I hadn't seen him, some of those punches didn't even look like fantastic landed punches, given I know there's a ton of power behind those when Ruiz throwing them. Especially watching Ruiz go into this fight, man. I saw him hitting pads. I was like, dude, this dude's dangerous.
Yeah, real.
But like I was saying, that he had gotten knocked out leading up to this fight, which is an interesting thing, especially when you start looking at a guy like Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. And I'm interested to see, how does AJ come back from this, Because like Ray was saying earlier, when he got knocked down, he was like, fuck. Like, you could see the wheels spinning in his head. And if you've been in the game for a while and you fight, man, there's definitely a lot that could have been read out of that facial expression where he's down looking down like, fuck.
Yeah, man. And, I mean, obviously, you've gotten in rounds at the Rock Boxing in the South Bay with Joe Hanks, right?
Yeah, Joe's one of my main training partners. I train a whole bunch with Joe, and I really attribute a lot of my hands and a lot of my striking growth to the work I've gotten in with Joe. Obviously under the tutelage of my coach, Rage, but Joe's really brought my striking to the next level, and I love getting in and work with Joe. It's been impressive. I was an MMA fighter, training people against people that specifically do hands. The speed of combinations, the power, the body movement, the head movement, and the footwork is just another level, And so being able to train with guys like Joe and all the other guys at The Rock, it's just been a game changer for my personal striking skills. Well, I don't remember what you're saying. What's the question?
No, that was it. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. As always, because that's it before we can ask.
Absolutely. That was the other one. So I'm going to go to the next one. So, obviously, we had Brock Lesnar. We know, as of right now, I mean, he had won the Money in the Bank contract and what have you, showed up on Raw, bumped the rating, right? Right. They've been kind of sluggish. So you put out an interesting post about that because there are people that were kind of irate on it. So let's get your thoughts.
So when I saw something today about Brock Lesnar going on to Raw and smashing somebody. And so for the people that don't know, he won the Money in the Bank pay-per-view recently where he wasn't even booked for the match, but he came out and ended up winning the match. And a lot of people weren't too happy about it. Especially as he's a part-timer coming in and winning a match he's not even booked on. But the thing is, now you see Brock Lesnar on Raw, and ratings have gone up 10%. 10%, which is a huge number. Right. So a lot of people can sit back and be mad or feel like a guy's getting opportunities that he's undeserving of. But at the end of the day, a big thing and I even had to realize this, it comes down to making people money. He's able to put eyes on the product, and that's why they had him win Money in the Bank. People are going to be all pissed about it, but now they're tuned in watching him on Raw. Whether they want to see him win or lose, they're tuning in to watch him. And in my personal experience, where seeing somebody get a quote-unquote undeserving opportunity that at the time I was jealous of was CM Punk. At the time, I'd been training 15 years or so, but fighting now for about 2 and change. And to see a guy who's barely been training get to debut in the UFC 0-0, I was pissed, bro. I was like, this is bullshit. I would love to fight that guy, yada, yada. I was furious if this guy was getting this opportunity. But I only let the hate sit for a little bit. And then I started looking at it as, man, I put in so much more work than this guy, and this guy's already where I want to be with barely any work. How do you do that? And better yet, how can I apply what he did to get there to my own career to help me get fast-tracked? Another person I looked a lot at was Conor McGregor. You know, where Conor can fight for sure, but the reason why he got the favorable matchups he got and catapulted through the rankings is because he's marketable. He can get in front of a microphone, he can talk, and he can make you want to tune in to watch the fight. Watch him. He has pay-per-view question and answers. People pay to watch him fucking talk. You know, so looking at these things, and it's another person who gets a lot of hate. Oh, he doesn't deserve the Khabib rematch. Really? It's the biggest pay-per-view of all time in the UFC. What do you mean he doesn't deserve it?
Sure.
Well, he needs to beat somebody. Why? The UFC is a for-profit business, and he's making them a boatload of money. Why doesn't he deserve it? Because he needs to beat. He never defended the belt. Like, go suck a dick. Like, you guys just don't understand business. You know, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with it that it should work that way. I'm just letting motherfuckers know how the game is. You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know, it's the same thing with CM Punk, where I saw him, guy debuting in the UFC. What do I got to do that? So I've looked at a bunch of these things to apply it to my own career in terms of efficient and effective expenditure of my energy to try and get myself to the destinations that I'm trying to get. CM Punk got to debut in the UFC because people are going to tune in to watch CM Punk pretend to fight people. They'll for sure tune in to watch him fight people for real. But this guy did so much other stuff in another area that it built interest in him to come to fighting. You know, so looking at things like that where I'm trying to build up a lot of different things in different areas to try and build other opportunities for me in various places. For me particularly, it might be wrestling. It might even be music, where there's a bunch of different doors that I'm trying to open by synergistically using all my different areas together into one thing to build up opportunities elsewhere. And so that was like with the Brock thing, you know, like people can sit there and another big thing. People want to sit there and hate. Don't waste your energy hating on people. Spend that energy in a way that's going to get you to where you want to be instead of being like, fuck Brock, he won the money, he wasn't even booked. Dude, guy's making money. Why don't you go, instead of sitting there and hating on Brock, spend that 10 seconds in your head thinking about something great you can go do for yourself. And you're going to be surprised how often there's these little things you can be mad about. Don't spend your energy on the bullshit. If it's not helping you, people are always like, oh, if it's not paying my bills, I'm not fucking, it doesn't get an opinion. Like, yeah, well, fuck, it's the same thing for everything you put your energy into. If it ain't paying your bills or making you closer in life, why are you spending your energy on it? You know, and so these are just, like when I saw that about Brock and I saw a bunch of hate about it, especially after the Money in the Bank thing. But man, figuring out how to achieve the things you want to achieve, you know, and fucking when it makes dollars, it makes sense. So figuring out ways to make fucking money for other people, and they're gonna want you as a bigger part of what they're doing. The more money you make them, and it really becomes a reciprocal relationship where bam, what's good for them is good for me. When bam, 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 where you start building on each other. You know,
damn right. And you've also got Make It Happen Mondays.
Make It Happen Monday. I haven't been doing it too much lately. I was in training camp, so I was super busy. But yeah, every Monday, tune in at Bulletproof Troop on Instagram. You know, Make It Happen Monday, I just talk about different things that I do in my life to help me be successful and get me on the path that I want to be at. And sometimes I might be talking about things where I've seen somebody else, you know, or just different things that I do, or how I figured out what I wanted to do in my life and kind of creating a plan around that, or how I passionately put things like, it's all kinds of different things that'll only help you get closer to where you want to be at in life. So tune in. I'm also doing Technique Tuesday. Every Tuesday I'm doing a self-defense style technique. It can work for men or women. It can work for anybody. But I'm particularly doing it for women because I've seen so many terrible techniques on the internet that are just going to get people hurt, are way too complicated. I'll never work in a real life situation. Well, I want to show you guys the good, real deal, dirty shit that's going to work and get you home safe back to your loved ones.
Yes.
Man of many talents, Mr. Blake Troop.
Damn right, damn right. And where can they find you, good sir?
At Bulletproof Troop on Instagram is the main spot. You can go to bulletprooftroop.com, pick up some merch. Big Troop 22. Yeah, new pins are in, $10. Yeah, stay tuned for some more fight details. I'm going to have something coming up soon. I will keep you guys posted.
Damn right. And without further ado, this has been a doubleheader of Gym Crashers. We'd like to thank Red Boxing promoter Ray Rhodes for coming in, as well as Blake Bulletproof Troop. And let's make some room for the Royal Ramble. But Uganda, what's
Gondo
up?
says give it up to the Royal Ramble.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next Tuesday with some other cool shit. So, thank you guys. You're fucking awesome.
Sums it up right there.